What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on Chris's MMA Universe. For this video here, I want to talk about Jon Jones a little bit. And what I want to talk about specifically about Jon Jones is who exactly is next for Jon Jones. Now, I'm sure some of you guys heard out there in some of his interviews where he's saying that he still has some business left, in the light heavyweight division, and, he's a full-size light heavyweight. He has really no reason to go up to heavyweight, but he does want to go up to heavyweight eventually. And, but now the business that he has left to attend to in light heavyweight, who exactly is there for him to fight right now? I know some of you might bring up Johnny Walker and, maybe even Jan Blachowicz. I'm not really sure, though, because Jon Jones said in the post-fight interview after he beat Thiago Santos, he actually said, he would like to see Johnny, fight somebody in the top 5, and then he'll end up noticing him a little bit more. And then, some people might bring up, Izzy Adesanya, but, for him to fight Israel, that's no time soon, even if that fight would happen. And that's like a big if that fight were to really happen. And it's going to be no time soon. Israel has a job for him coming up right now, like pretty soon, UFC 243, where, he got to come across that mountain first. And even if he does come across that and he ends up pulling the W on that Robert Whittaker fight, he still has to defend it, I would say, a few times before he can actually bulk on weight and put on some weight to actually try to even challenge Jon Jones, because he would actually have to move up. Jon Jones not going to go down. Jon Jones was talking about moving up to heavyweight. There's no way he's going to go down to middleweight, or even a catch weight. But you know what? I just really don't know who's next for Jon Jones. Some could have argued Lew Rockhold if he would have won against Jan, but now he's out of the equation. I know we're talking about Chris Weidman, but Chris Weidman hasn't even fought in the light heavyweight division yet. He would have to actually rack up a couple wins in that division in order to even be able to call out Jon Jones in like a serious matter. I just really don't know who's next for Jon Jones. Jan, maybe, but I don't really think that fight would even sell. I don't even think Jan said that he cares to fight Jon Jones in his post-fight interview. I just really don't know who's left for Jon Jones in the light heavyweight division. I would love to see a Johnny Walker fight against Jon Jones. I would love to see that. But at the same time, I would really like to see Johnny Walker fight at least 3 more times and show everybody what he could do to at least 3 more fighters. And I would even say 4 more. At least 3 or 4 more fights. And let's see if he could beat the top of the division, top 5 fighters, top 3 fighters, and see what he could do to the higher level of competition and then challenge Jon Jones. Jon Jones, he's not on PEDs anymore. Jon Jones is not on PEDs. Even though he took tainted supplements in the past, regardless of how you look at it, Jon Jones was on PEDs in some shape or form, right? So, right now, Jon Jones fighting has, I'm going to say it declined a little bit. Now, you know what? I don't want to get backlash on this. I know some of you might give me backlash on this, but now let's look at his fight against Alexander Gustafsson. He TKO'd him in round 3. He finished him. After their first fight was a war, but that's like, 4 years ago? Now, yeah, he finished him now, and it was a rematch. Jon Jones was saying that he's especially devastating when he has rematches, right? Like, he just knows how to finish them because he fought them before. So, okay, let's look at that in December. He finished them. There was slight, picograms that they said that they found in him and stuff like that of the old test of what was in him before. It wasn't fully out. Some people were saying that maybe that's because he shouldn't have came back yet. not only a 15-month suspension, maybe he should have been out for 4 years, and then there would have been no traces of anything, right? But I'm not here to talk about how long he should have been suspended for. I'm glad that he's back. I love that he's back. I'm loving that he's, in these competitions again, and he's just in the roster and he's keeping it going. Like he's really gonna keep his word. At least it sounds like he's keeping his word on fighting 4 times in a 12-month period. So now let's look at the Alexander Gustafsson fight. He finished him in round 3. Then he fought Anthony Smith. That went to a decision, and it was kind of like an odd fight. Like where he was on the floor, kind of like on his knees, throwing punches. I mean, it was just weird, right? Now, don't get me wrong. He won that fight undecisive. There was no way anybody thought Anthony Smith won that fight. Jon Jones won that fight clearly. Now, I know there was some controversial things going on saying that Anthony Smith could have took it as a disqualification. Thank God he did not do that. Because, you got to give Anthony Smith a lot of credit, because some fighters would have done that. Some petty fighters or just jealous fighters probably would have done that. And that's not a real win, But anyway, so that went to a decision unanimously. Then let's see the fight against Thiago Santos. A split decision. I believe that was his very first split decision after winning. Any of his decisions has never been split. It's always been unanimous. Even on a bad night for when he fought OSP. But now, let's not take away from Thiago Santos' toughness. Thiago Santos is a phenomenal fighter. Very high grit. Very durable. He has a hammer on his chest for a reason, right? So let's not take away anything from him. I'm not taking away anything from him. Hats off to Thiago Santos. He's actually one of my favorite fighters. I have so much respect for him for still fighting Jon Jones for those 5 rounds on a hurt knee. But, you got to kind of look at Jon Jones a little bit, right? Like, is he declining, or was that fight just that tough for him? Jon Jones is not on PEDs in any shape or form now. So maybe, just maybe, even if Jon Jones didn't intend to cheat, or if he did cheat, I'm not sitting up here saying Jon Jones cheated. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But whether he intended to or did not intend to, can we maybe agree that they did help his performance? Maybe. Like, this is back from before USADA was in play. And even when USADA was in play, where he got flagged a couple times. So maybe with the PDs out of his system, what's going to happen with Jon Jones' future? And near future. I think this is where Johnny Walker is saying in interviews, you know what? I'm looking at Jon Jones' style. I'm looking at the way he's fighting now. And I think I'm ready to go after him. And I think I can do it. So put me in. And let's set it up. And honestly, I think Johnny Walker sees something that we all don't. Who knows, right? But I'm really curious to see what's going to happen next. And I'm really, really curious to see who Jon Jones is going to fight next. Is DC going to come down? No. He has a test in front of him as well with Stipe. And who knows what's going to happen after that? Is he going to defend it again at heavyweight? Is Jon Jones going to go up to heavyweight? There's a lot of question marks. But I really, really want to know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know. If you guys enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe, like, share, and I'll see all you guys in the next one.